Welcome to the Whole Farm Benchmarks tool. This short guide explains how to find your way around it and how to use it to help you compare your farm productivity and financial information to farms that are a similar size and type to your own. This is a free resource for all farmers to use. The concept of benchmarking is not exclusive to farming businesses. It is a universal tool that businesses use to compare their financial, productivity, and more recently, environmental performance with a view to making improvements. Using this tool, you can compare your farming year results to a group average of other farming businesses in Scotland of a similar type and size to your own. It will help you to understand the current financial position of your business. You compare how your input costs, output prices, and productivity differ from the group average. The big differences you find will suggest areas in your business for you to focus on for improvement. Before starting, get your latest set of farm accounts and your farm production records, for example, your harvest yields, to refer to. First, you need to decide which farming type best describes your business. Check your annual turnover. We call it output here. And if more than 2/3 of your turnover comes from growing grain and oilseed rape, then you are a specialist cereal farm. Go to the drop-down box, choose that farming type from the menu. If you wish to look at the farming type definitions in more detail, click the overview, hit read more, and here you can see a loose description of the various 7 different farming types. If no one enterprise dominates production, then you are a mixed farm. Once you have chosen your farming type, this is divided into figures based on farm physical size. For example, there are 41 dairy farms here, and they are divided according to size of farm. Under 100 hectares, 100 to 150, and over 150 hectares. Group average figures for each size category are expressed accordingly. There is a 4th column of figures for comparison. It is the top 25% of performing farms based on farm business income as a percentage of output or turnover. Select the figures in the tables that is the most appropriate comparison for your business. You have the option to download the data sheets either as Excel spreadsheets or as PDFs for you to complete offline. Please note there are 2 farm types with different methods of dividing up the data. If you are a specialist sheep farm, mainly hard hill, the group average data is divided into areas. Choose whether you are in the northern area or the southern area of Scotland. If you are an LFA livestock farm with your production balanced between cattle and sheep, the dataset is divided based on the percentage of rough grazing as a part of your total holding. There are 3 categories. Rough grazing as less than 25% of your holding, 25 to 80%, and over 80% of your total. This allows for a fairer comparison of LFA beef and sheep farms. The upper 25% remains as the best performing 25% of farms in the total of 49 mixed cattle and sheep farms in this dataset. Results are expressed in this tool as farm business income. What is farm business income, or abbreviated to FBI? In almost all businesses, it is very similar to net profit. Any major differences can be explained by the inclusion of property depreciation at replacement cost and any margin from diversification using farm resources. In addition, in farm business income, all the agricultural outputs have been assessed here at as close to the actual sale prices that farmers have received, rather than the end-of-year stock valuations. FBI, therefore, is a better reflection of the real income farmers receive. In this tool, there are 6 tables of information for you to look at. The first one is physical data. This describes what crops you grow and what livestock you rear. The second tab is farm business income, or FBI, expressed in pounds per farm. This shows your output or turnover from your various enterprises, listed here, and also your input costs here, split into variable and fixed. The third tab expresses farm business income in pounds per adjusted hectare. This recognises that some farms may have a significant proportion of rough grazing. That rough grazing in your holding is converted to the equivalent area of average quality grassland, and farm business income expressed accordingly. The fourth tab is farm business income as a percentage of output. This is a headline benchmark for assessing business performance. It's calculated by dividing a farm's farm business income, or net profit, by its output. Sales and purchases describes your cattle and sheep purchases for all businesses regardless of type. The last tab are your yield and output pages. They describe crop yields across all farm types. They also have productivity data here. So for example, your dairy farms will have milk production information here. Specialist beef, specialist sheep, and mixed cattle and sheep have their sheep performance records down at the bottom here too. All terminology used in this tool is explained in the glossary. Click here and click here. You can click on any term and it will expand to give a more detailed explanation of the term used. Can you trust these numbers? The data in this tool comes from the Scottish Farm Business Survey. This is a detailed economic survey of 420 farms carried out by SAC Consulting. It is funded wholly by the Rural and Environment Science and Analytical Services team of the Scottish Government, also known as RESAS. A trained team of farm business analysts all gather the data in the same manner. For this tool, we remove certain farms from the dataset, for example, the organic farms, as they often don't compare like with like. We also remove farms that are undergoing a change in their primary production within that farming year, for example, moving from dairy to beef. Each farm in the remaining dataset is then allocated to a farm type. There has also been a statistical weighting applied to each farm's data to prevent any one outlying very high or very low performing farm from skewing the data. This helps to make your comparisons more robust. SAC Consulting would like to thank all the farming businesses in Scotland whose participation in the Scottish Farm Business Survey has helped to create these resources. So, where do you start to compare your figures? Start with farm business income in pounds per farm. Scroll down, look at your net profit, and compare yourself for whichever category and size of farm is relevant to yours. Then look at farm business income as a percentage of your output or turnover. And you can see your net profit as a percentage of your total output. This will also allow you to look at your farm gross margin here. It's important to remember with benchmarking that it does have its limitations. No two farming businesses are the same. Some variation in farm type will reflect farming in a kinder area of the country, or, for instance, being contracted to a milk buyer that offers a better milk price. You can see this clearly in the yield and output page of the dairy section. If you scroll down, you see the top 25% of performing farms achieved a full 2 pence per litre higher price for their milk. Performance will also vary between years due to bad weather or perhaps selling livestock at the wrong time. Therefore, a rule of thumb is to try and establish your current performance based on the past few years. We recognise that farmers need access to resources fast in a way that makes a difference. To that end, later this year, we will launch a 30-minute benchmarking tool for upland beef and sheep farmers. Participation in the Scottish Farm Business Survey is voluntary and confidential. In return, farmers receive a farm business report, an individual benchmarking report, and a whole farm carbon audit. If you think this would benefit your business, please get in touch. Benchmarking, in summary, is a proven way to analyse your business, scrutinise your costs, and improve your profitability and sustainability. If you have any questions or need any help, please get in touch by phoning the FAS advice line or emailing us at advice@fas.scot.